Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel, Ask Jimmy Smith. Today, I'm excited. This is the first YouTube video, or at least long form YouTube video of 2023. And we're starting it off with a good one. Specifically, I'm talking about 7 Amazon categories that always make sales. Now, technically, if I really wanted to get into the weeds here, I could say, well, all the categories make sales. And so what I wanted to go through here are my 7 favorite categories, and specifically 7 favorite ones where no experience is needed on the part of the seller. Like, there are gated categories if you sell on Amazon and you're a newer seller, and I'm giving you 6 categories that are ungated, and then I'm going to give you one that is gated that I highly recommend checking out if you're trying to do arbitrage or wholesale or even private label. These are the categories that do the best, in my opinion, from what I've seen from a lot of different sellers, as well as in my own businesses too. So if you're interested in anything that I do, you can head over to AskJimmySmith.com. You can get a free Keepa guide there if you're interested in learning how to read Keepa. If you go to AskJimmySmith.com/Keepa guide. But let's go ahead and get into the first Amazon category that makes sales, and I've seen success from a replenishable product standpoint with arbitrage, wholesale, and private label as well. So the first one that I like is home and garden. And remember, this is a category that is ungated for new sellers. So if you are just starting in the Amazon journey, check out some of the home and garden listings. Make sure that you know Keepa. As I mentioned, that Keepa guide, I've also got a bunch of Keepa videos on this channel if you're interested in learning how to read Keepa properly, because that is how you're going to know if the product is good. But home and garden as a category is a very good category to check out. There are so many different types of products, so many different private label brands. If you're shopping at like Home Depot or Lowe's, or if you're doing anything at Walmart, Target, or even some regional stores, home and garden, there's a ton of different opportunities there. Also, if you're a little bit more advanced and you're doing some things like the hazmat program, the hazardous materials program, there are a lot of pesticides and things like that that would apply to the garden category that you may be actually able to sell through the hazmat program. And so again, that's a little bit more advanced. You probably want some experience if you're doing those things, but ultimately home and garden is a great category to check out first. The second one that I like is kitchen. That is a pretty generic category. I know there's a lot of products that fall into kitchen, but whether you're doing private label or you're doing wholesale or you're doing arbitrage, you're going to find a lot of different products in the kitchen category, whether it's smaller things like kitchen utensils, or it's something bigger like pots and pan sets, or even kitchen mats and that kind of product. You can find quite a few things within the kitchen category. Additionally, there's going to be a lot of store private label brands as well, and I've done videos on how to find store private label brands that you can see are on Amazon if you can sell them. Ultimately, kitchen has a lot of store private label brands. Like Walmart has different things like Mainstays, and Pioneer Woman isn't necessarily a private label brand of theirs, but it's an exclusive brand of theirs. So tons of different products within the kitchen category to sell if you're a new seller. It does take a while. Kitchen has a lot of little component pieces if you really think about the salt and pepper shakers and stuff like that. But ultimately, there are so many products for you to choose from that there's a ton of good things in there for you to source for your replens and wholesale and private label business. The next one is arts and crafts. I think this one is a little bit more underutilized for whatever reason. There are big arts and crafts stores that you can go to and find quite a few products to choose from. It is a little bit harder from an arbitrage standpoint, I believe, just because there's so many products, so many different small brands that may or may not be on Amazon. But I really like arts and crafts if you're doing wholesale or you're doing private label, because it can be very niche and you can find people that just love a particular brand within this category. So if you are in the wholesale niche or you're in the private label niche, highly recommend checking out some of the arts and crafts products because there are so many different opportunities. You can create groups, Facebook groups, and around this topic, you can find influencers around this topic to help you launch these brands and these products. There's so much opportunity within this. Don't ignore it if you're doing arbitrage, whether it's retail or online arbitrage, because there are a ton of products here. This is one that I really enjoy. It's also ungated for new sellers. As I mentioned, the first 6 of these will be, but ultimately arts and crafts is one that you definitely want to check out. The fourth one that actually I didn't do as well with early on in my Amazon business and have since started to like more and more is tools and home improvement. And so for some of you, this may be a category you're really great at sourcing because you know the products, you know what to search, you know exactly what you're looking for and what somebody searching for it on Amazon would be looking for. But tools and home improvement is one of my favorites now because there's typically less competition. You can find wholesale accounts, not easily, but a little bit easier than if you're trying to compete for toys or kitchen, right? You can find wholesale accounts for tools and home improvement because they're a little bit more niche. Also, people are very brand loyal in this category. So if they like a brand, they will continue to come back and purchase that brand as their product breaks or as they need a new one, or if they're gifting it to somebody. This category can do very well, as can all of them technically, in the gift season, the holiday season. So technically, I would take the time to look up tools and home improvement products, even private label. If you can create a community that you can launch these products to, or work with inventory or with influencers, private label can be very good in the tools and home improvement niche as well. Now, if you're doing arbitrage, I would probably avoid some of those smaller component pieces just because it takes so long to do and to source, and they have to be exact to the certain specifications. However, there is some big money to be made in those small component pieces, or those aftermarket part type pieces that will fix the dishwasher or will fix the refrigerator or something like that, right? But it takes a little bit longer to be able to find those products and source them. So usually I like to go with some of the more name brand products. Again, with tools and home improvement, just like some of these other categories, you can find some great store private label brands if you're shopping at Lowe's and Home Depot, Ace Hardware, etc. So definitely check those out if you're doing arbitrage. If you're looking for wholesale, then find some of those smaller companies that are doing decently well on Amazon. Reach out to them directly. They may not even care if you sell on Amazon, because usually this hasn't hit their radar as much as some of the things like beauty, right, or toys could have. So the next one is going to be industrial and scientific, or BISS, business, industrial, and scientific. This is one that a lot of people, I believe, ignore or maybe don't even pay as much attention to. These could be things like cleaners or more bulk type things for businesses, right? And so this one I like. I think that it'd be a cool opportunity to reverse source this category using some of the Keepa data product finder methods that I've talked about on this channel. So I highly recommend checking that video out. I'll try to link it up here or down below or something. But the Keepa Data Product Finder can help you find more products in this category, and then you can just go find the supplier for them. Because it can be difficult to walk into a store and be like, oh, this is the BISS category. That's very rare. You might find things that fall into this category that would be in tools and home improvement, or in home and garden, or even in kitchen, or something that would be more like paper towels, right? If it's a bulk amount of paper towels, it might actually fall under the business, industrial, and scientific category. So I really like this one because it's open to a lot of new sellers. And also you can use the Keepa Data Product Finder to help you find products that meet specific criteria. And then from there, go out and find the supplier for those products. So it's a little bit of a backwards method of doing it. Also, you can launch pretty good private label brands in this category because it's a little bit less competitive. There's a lot of opportunity in this for new sellers and experienced sellers alike. The sixth one is a little bit more of a specific one. So pet supplies. Now I put here excluding food and pet care because those are gated. Now, if you want to get into those categories, you can go through the work of getting ungated and pet food and pet care, but pet supplies can be very good. So make sure that you're checking those out. If you are going into any type of a pet store, even like a Walmart or a Target for your arbitrage, or something even more like a grocery store that has pet supplies, you're going to want to make sure that you are ungated in those specific categories, as well as those brands. But I believe pet supplies has a ton of great products. We've sold a lot of pet supplies in the past and continue to sell those today. And so that is one that you're going to want to take a look at, as long as you're ungated in the specific product that you're going to be looking at in the store. And then the seventh one that does require ungating at this point in time during the recording of this video is grocery. Now, it used to be one that wasn't gated for everybody. It was ungated for new sellers, and they recently, within the last year or so, banned that or gated the category. This one is fairly easy to get ungated in if you go and find a distributor or manufacturer where you can buy 10 of one particular item, give the invoice to Amazon, and they should ungate you for that. Might take a couple bits and pieces of back and forth. You can find videos on YouTube or even in Facebook groups where you can get that information for how to get ungated. It's a fairly simple process. But once you do, grocery opens up a wealth of products that are on Amazon, specifically ones that are regional, that I highly recommend checking out if you're doing arbitrage or even wholesale. If you find products in, for instance, I live in St. Louis, but if I move to California or Florida and I can't get those St. Louis products anymore, those are things that I would look to buy on Amazon. And if a seller is selling those, then those are great for me to buy, and I'm willing to spend more money. Now, as a seller, you can access those at a lower price and usually mark them up quite a bit with the Amazon fees that come out of it and make a decent profit. So grocery is very good to check out for regional products, for bundles, for multi-packs, for really just about anything. Even national products in the grocery category do really well once you get used to reading Keepa. And so, as you may have seen on my channel before, if you're new, welcome. If you want a free Keepa guide for how to read Keepa, it's a 16-page guide. You can go to AskJimmySmith.com/Keepa guide. But those are the 7 Amazon categories that always make sales, whether or not you have experience. Yes, you have to buy the right products, right? You can't just send products in and make sales. So that's my disclaimer. You have to know how to buy the right products. That guide will help you. Also, if you're interested in a free group where you can learn more and ask questions, you can get that at bit.ly/MST group. The link is in the description. It's over 70,000 members. I've been in it for 7 years. I now help moderate it, but it's completely free. Highly recommend it. And if you're looking for some more group networking type experiences, this is a group that I recommend, which is called the Business Building Legends Group. There's a $1 trial at bit.ly/legends trial. But ultimately, that will help you to network with other people. There's a bunch of free training and courses within that group. And so it's something that I highly recommend. It's really what launched my business in the replens category to get us over $1 million per year. No guarantee it'll do the same for you, but there's a lot of knowledge in there, and it's a $1 trial right now. So I wanted to make you aware of that. So hopefully you learned a lot from this video. Like I said, I wanted to go through those 7 Amazon categories that are really some of my favorites that you don't need any experience to be successful in as long as you're buying the right products. But if you have any questions, post them below. If you have any other categories that you like in your own business, please post those below so we can all learn together. Ultimately, I'm really looking forward to 2023, continuing to put out more and more content for you. And please like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. But without further ado, I hope that you have a great rest of your day and a blessed rest of your week.